With a net worth of $2.5 billion and the title of the undisputed queen of media under her belt, everybody wishes they could swap lives with Oprah. However, very few people know that Oprah's journey to the top was riddled with some incredibly dark times. Welcome to the AF Empire channel, where we focus on influencers, stars, and famous people. If you're interested in this kind of content, then this channel is for you. Make sure to like this video, click on the subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell to keep you updated on our recent uploads. Now, let's get right into the life of Oprah. Oprah was born to unmarried teenage parents in extreme poverty. Her mother, Vernita Lee, was a housemaid, and her father, Vernon Winfrey, was a coal miner. Other than the brief sexual encounter that led to the birth of Oprah, the two parents never wanted anything to do with each other, and split up way before Oprah was born.
I remember the first night entering into that house and being told that I wouldn't be able to sleep with my mother and I wouldn't be able to sleep inside the house, but there was a little foyer porch before you actually got inside the house. And I was put outside to sleep there. I later realized it's because it was the color of my skin.
Oprah spent the first 6 years of her life being raised by her grandmother, Hattie Mae, which was far from a pleasant experience. Oprah has recalled that her grandmother beat her often and ruthlessly for the slightest reasons, such as spilling water, and then forced Oprah to hush and put a smile on. At one point, Oprah was beaten so badly that one of her wounds opened up while she was at church and bloodied her dress.
When I put on my clothes to go to church, one of the welts from my back opened up and bloodied the dress.
Speaking of dresses, there wasn't much money to go around when Oprah was growing up with her grandmother either. As a result, there was a time when the now billionaire used to wear a dress literally made out of a potato sack. She was teased by the other children for this and was popularly known as Sack Girl. Things did not improve as Oprah started living with her mother at the age of 7, because Vernita worked long hours as a housemaid and hardly had time to attend to Oprah at all. But it wasn't just time that stopped Vernita from paying attention to her little girl. Oprah recalls that her mother was always cold and distant. At one point, when her mother was staying at a boarding home, the owner of the home, who was light-skinned, refused to let Oprah sleep inside due to her African features. The owner said that the nappy-headed dark child would have to sleep on the porch. Vernita did not argue for a second and simply went inside with the owner, closing the door in a young Oprah's face. Oprah stayed up all night worrying that robbers would snatch her, or any other horrible thing that a young girl's imagination could conjure up. Perhaps Oprah's worst scar was incurred when she was 9 years old. Her 19-year-old cousin began to sexually abuse her, and the abuse went on for several years. Oprah recalls that at the time she wasn't even aware of what sex was and didn't realize what was happening to her. One of the reasons why she couldn't tell anyone. Her cousin would take her out to get her ice cream after every episode of abuse. Later, she would experience the same treatment at the hands of multiple relatives, including an uncle. The abuse continued from 9 all the way to when she was 13 years old, which is when she got tired of the suffering and ran away from home.
As I sat there thinking, I don't belong in this place for bad girls, because I'm not a bad girl. A woman comes out and says to myself and to my mother, "I'm sorry, Miss Lee, but there's not enough room on our docket for your daughter. You'll have to come back in 2 weeks. There isn't enough room for her here."
At 14, quite possibly as a result of the abuse, Oprah ended up pregnant, which was when she was sent to live with her father, and after that, her mother refused to take her back.
After I gave birth at 14 years old to a child that I never even knew how this even happened to me at the time, when that child died, my father said to me, "This is your second chance. This is your opportunity to seize this moment and make something of your life."
The baby was born premature and only lived for 2 weeks before breathing his last breath, adding to the already long line of trauma that Oprah suffered. In the present day, even though Oprah has had a long-lasting romantic relationship, she has chosen not to become a mother, and says that the reason is that she wasn't mothered very well herself. Oprah's mother had several other children with other men. Oprah's half-sister Patricia, whom Oprah met for the first time on that day at the boarding house incident, died in 2003 due to cocaine and cocaine-related addiction issues. Oprah's half-brother Jeffrey died in 1989 due to AIDS-related causes. It was when Oprah began living with her father that her life began taking some semblance of an upward trajectory. Vernon was a strict father but pushed Oprah to attain a quality education, and it was during her formal education that Oprah discovered and polished her skills as a public speaker, which would later help her become everything that she is in popular media today.
This will save you. Stop comparing yourself to other people. You're only on this planet to be you, not someone else's imitation of you. Your life journey is about learning to become more of who you are and fulfilling the highest, truest expression of yourself as a human being. That's why you're here.
Despite having an unbelievably difficult childhood, Oprah managed to turn her life around and used her experience to bring something positive to the world. As a survivor of sexual abuse, Oprah has dedicated over 200 episodes of her talk show to telling the stories of other survivors and shedding light on the important issue.
Well, this is so interesting. He was just a baby in diapers when he started correcting other people's grammar. Sounds hard to believe. I thought it was hard to believe too, but by 18 months, this child could add and subtract. 18 months. And by the time he was 6, he was smarter than his own parents, and his parents knew it. And in 1 year, he went from 2nd grade to 8th grade. And he flew through high school in just 22 months. But that's just the beginning. This genius child started college, he just did, and he's only 10 years old.
Oprah has even made amends with her family members over the years. After finding success as a talk show host, Oprah supported her mother financially, because in her own words, she felt a sense of responsibility to do so. In a particularly emotional episode of her show in 1990, Oprah invited her mother and gave her mother a makeover while the two spoke and made amends.
Why didn't you want to own up to it?
Well, because I thought it was a terrible thing for me to do that I had done. Gave up my daughter.
Oprah has even mentioned her grandmother in a positive light, stating that it was Hattie Mae who encouraged her to speak in public. According to Oprah, it was Mae that gave her a positive sense of herself for the first time. For more scoop on other famous YouTubers, subscribe to our AF Empire channel. See you guys next time.